Hi, you guys. My name is Faye, and I need a vacation, and I think you do too. So let's distract ourselves with some reality TV nonsense. Yes, it's me. I'm back already. I'm so excited, you guys. Today, we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The 6th season just premiered a couple weeks ago. I know I'm 3 episodes behind, but we're gonna do it different this time. Instead of doing a super long triple recap, we're gonna do separate little recaps, and I'm gonna try to get these out faster so I'm up to date. So today we're gonna be talking about season 6, episode 1, and I hope you guys are along for the ride with me. Let's get into it. So the season opens up with a montage of kind of like what's to come, and it looks really promising. It's really fun. I see we're gonna get some ridiculous little moments of the ladies arguing while in costume, which I love. Like, I live for that. What is new this season is that it's not Heather narrating and opening up the season, but it's actually Mary. And I have to say, she did a great job. Like, can't wait. So the season already opens with a cast trip, which is almost unheard of, I believe. But yeah, Angie and allegedly Mary, but we'll get into that later, they've planned what they call a Class A getaway. So it turns out it's an RV trip. So Angie is driving this RV herself. I'm like, wow, respect to you, Angie. And she is picking up Mary. When Mary sees her, the first thing she says is like, why are you dressed like you're going into the office? And I'm like, Mary, exactly. Like, Angie is literally wearing this like camel suit. She does not look like she's going on an RV trip or camping, but okay, Angie. So Angie, I guess, has discovered RV living. Like, she started doing it with her family a couple years ago. They really enjoy it, so she wants to introduce the ladies to this. Mary, shall we say, is not having it. Like, she's not excited at all. And then when Angie's driving, she's like,
do you feel safe with me, Mary?
and she's like,
No.
not really. Like, love her or hate her, Mary is so funny, and she's naturally funny. She's not tried at all, and that's the funny thing. So apparently the ladies were told they were going on a luxurious Class A, just glamorous trip. They're waiting to be picked up in the Beauty Lab Laser parking lot. They received a very mysterious invite that said to bring, I think it was blessings, bikinis, and boots. So they're standing in the parking lot trying to figure out where they're going when someone asks who they're all waiting for, and someone's like, yeah, so-and-so and Lisa. And then Meredith's like, oh, I thought you knew. Lisa's not coming. They are shocked. And you can tell, even though half of them claim not to see it for Lisa, they're all disappointed. So then the RV actually pulls up, and it really is Angie driving, and the ladies just lose it. Brittany's like,
what in the world?
Bronwyn's like,
oh, for F's sake.
Everyone's just like, oh my God, no, no, no. But Meredith, she had me on the floor when she said,
I don't understand.
like, you could tell, like, she was bewildered. So they also make fun of Brittany and her outfit. She is literally wearing a bikini under fur, like nothing over it. But I do have to say, I mean, there was a bikini on the invite, and it did say to bring bikinis, so you can't really blame a girl. So they get on the RV. Nobody's really excited, like I said. Bronwyn is sitting there like,
oh, I'm a germaphobe. I don't like people using the same air for everything. I need a hazmat suit.
I'm like, girl, please stop. We literally saw the dog shit on your floor. Excuse my language. Like, there was dog shit on her floors inside her house, her home, that she only cleaned when Heather came, or actually I don't even think she cleaned it. So now we have these men dressed in all black with vests pull up to the RV. They're circling the RV just like, you know, the actual SWAT team from the police did a couple seasons ago when they took care of Jen Shaw. And the ladies are like anxious, and the guys are like, where's Whitney? We're looking for Whitney. Heather's immediately like,
Whitney, they're here for you.
Like, damn, Heather. But yeah, Whitney gets out, and they're like, we have to arrest you for being a bad girl. And Bronwyn's like, oh, it's strippers. When I tell you, I don't think these ladies have ever been more geeked to see strippers. And Whitney throws out that, this was her idea when she heard that they would be meeting up at Beauty Lab Laser, where, which is where everything went down a couple seasons ago. She just couldn't resist. And she also drops in there that it was really hard to find male strippers in Utah. And it makes sense, honestly. It was funny though. The ladies, all in all, reacted really well to the prank and the strippers. But Angie was like,
oh, they're a bit too young for me. I feel like, it's gross when all I can think about is throwing them on my shoulder and burping them.
And Mary's just like,
you don't even know me.
Like, Mary, what do you mean? After the strippers leave, they head out and the ladies want to know where they're going. And it turns out they're actually going past Brittany's house. And Mary's like,
well, maybe we could drop you off.
And in the confessional, she says that Brittany just annoys her. Now, Heather brings up Lisa again, because as we'll see, all these ladies can talk about is Lisa Barlow. When I tell you she's the main character in this franchise, no matter how hard the people want to deny it. But the ladies make her the main character. It's not Lisa. Anyway, Heather wants to know where Lisa is. Angie lets the ladies know that it's unclear to her why Lisa didn't come. She said that she did have something going on with her business. We do see a flashback, however, when Lisa told Angie that she couldn't come on FaceTime. And Lisa, she says that she cannot spend a night with Bronwyn because Bronwyn is a pathological liar. She's psychotic. She can't tell the truth to save her life. And also, she has a business thing going on.
And I don't want to drop names, but I'll be with Ben and Blake, and you'll be with Bronwyn.
Oh yeah, she also lets it be known that she has a very full life that she doesn't share, but she does have it. So it is kind of unclear. Is it just Bronwyn? Is it mainly the work thing? Whatever. At the end of the day, Lisa is not there. When Angie tells them this, Whitney immediately is like, of course it's Bronwyn. She's not working. And I just didn't understand that. Like, Whitney, Lisa has a business. Like, she has several jobs. Like, why would you doubt that she's working? That's strange. Brittany then jumps in to defend Lisa. And she's like, don't you drag Lisa when your business is literally under fire on social media. And we see all these blog posts pop up about Brittany's business allegedly being involved in an MLM of some kind. I have to say I've not heard about this. All I remember from her business is from last season when someone said that her jewelry is from Alibaba. So that's interesting. I would like to hear more about that from Whitney. Whitney, though, was ready for Brittany. She's like,
you don't know anything about my business. What do you do for work, Brittany? How do you make money, Brittany? By sucking dick?
Brittany was not like ready for that at all. She's like, are you kidding me? And Whitney, she keeps going. She's like,
I'm at rock bottom, bitch, but I'll climb out on top of you.
Like, she had a lot of energy there. Heather's trying to calm her down. Amazing. I love Salt Lake City. Also, Brittany is very animated, like she's talking with her hands when she's defending Lisa. Bronwyn's sitting next to her and Bronwyn's like,
keep your hands out of my face or I'll jump in next.
Girl, you're not gonna do anything. Also, Brittany's hands were not even in your face, like, at all. I think Bronwyn just wanted a moment. She wanted to be part of the moment because she's thirsty. Brittany then takes it a step too far and she says that Lisa is a true friend of hers and they're like sisters. And everyone's like, when did they become so close? The ladies finally arrive at their destination. They are at Provo Canyon. They start driving towards the campsite and all you see is like a dumpster, an old snowmobile, an old tractor, a broken down car, a school bus. And the ladies are like, where are we? Mary's just like,
is this a joke?
And Meredith's like,
this is not for real.
She's actually laughing, like she really believes that this is a joke. And I have to say, up to this point as well, I really thought that they were just driving through there for like as a joke and that they would be heading to a luxury like lodge or a cabin or resort of some kind. But no, like they are dead ass. They're staying there. Bronwyn definitely had the same thoughts. She said she expected a luxury cabin also. Mary, who supposedly co-organized this trip, she's like,
we're in the trenches.
And Whitney was so funny. I have to say, like, I'm loving her confessionals this season. She's like,
when I look at Mary, I think luxury, white glove service, Dom Perignon, high end.
And she's surprised that Mary was even involved in planning this trip. And she's like,
does Mary even know why we're here?
and Mary herself, she has no idea how her name even got attached to this. She's like very adamant in the confessional. She's like,
that's not me. It's not me. It is not me.
I do have to say, even though this wouldn't count as any type of vacation for me, the landscape does look breathtakingly beautiful. Like, it is gorgeous. The ladies sit down, they eat lunch, they're eating salad and sandwiches, and I believe there was a little fruit platter. It's nothing that is just so special or extravagant, but I will accept it because this is a camping trip, and obviously they're not going to be eating, caviar and lobster. So Brittany has a surprise for the ladies. She says, since I'm known as the camera girl, I brought some camcorders for you guys and we can record ourselves. When I tell you there was dead silence, everyone was just looking at her. I love to drag Brittany myself, but like, we need her on the show. She's the comedic relief we desperately need on the show. And I just love to see the ladies react to her. I love how they look at her whenever she talks. They're always like so exasperated. Like, they go from being exasperated to just having looks of benign confusion on their faces. Like, Brittany is something. Honestly, she's a riot. Angie breaks the dead silence and she's like, oh, what a great idea. So now they start passing out the camcorders. They're trying them out. Even Mary, which totally surprised me. However, Lisa once again becomes a topic of conversation as Angie brings her up and says how it's so strange that Lisa's not there and that she didn't come. Heather in her confessional says that she feels like Lisa was making a statement because she's sure that the trip could have been planned around her busy schedule. Whitney then takes it upon herself to bring up Lisa's lawsuits. Apparently she has been sued several times. I, for some reason, have not seen this. Meredith and Brittany share that Lisa spoke to them and told them that it's all BS and or has been handled. But of course, Bronwyn has to jump in and she's like, no, it's not BS and it hasn't been handled. Bronwyn then says that Lisa should spend less time talking about other people and more time focusing on her own issues. She also accuses Lisa of always pointing out drama or mess in other people's lives, but never sharing anything that's difficult or messy or even bullshit, she calls it, about her own life. Now, I have no idea what makes Bronwyn say this. I do not feel like Lisa is one of those housewives that never shares anything at all. Like, we know a lot about her marriage. We know about her son, going to mission. She's even incorporated some of the Mormon faith there. We know about the son starting a business. We even know about I remember Lisa got very vulnerable about how she grew up and having so many siblings. And I think she's the oldest, and feeling how she always had to take care of them. And I just think that it's not true. And production showed us the flashback. I don't know, this might be the Lisa takedown season, but they showed us a flashback of Lisa talking about others. But some of that stuff was just, said out of jest or like taken out of context. For example, when she said the circle jerks thing, she was comparing and she was saying, Angie, what if I said something like this about your husband? She wasn't throwing that out there, and whatever, it's all in the past, but I think that was a little unfair, that montage. Other stuff that she discussed was already out there, or they were all talking about. So I don't know, I just thought that was a strange narrative. Mary also feels that way, however. She says that no one's allowed to say anything about Lisa, but she always feels comfortable talking about everyone else. And I do have to give Mary her points on that, because Lisa has talked about Mary and her church. She has brought up gossip about that church. However, during that season, it was supposed to be the Jen Shah takedown season because of her issues with the feds. But the ladies all spent that time talking about Mary's church and whether or not Meredith went to her father's funeral. So again, it was not just Lisa talking about this. Anyway, Bronwyn says that there are at least 5 lawsuits, that it's very serious. It's about a lot of money. We see a clipping from the Salt Lake City Tribune, and that article had a headline that mentioned that Lisa Barlow owes more than $400K in unpaid loans. So that does sound serious. Bronwyn also insists that this news has been everywhere and everyone's seen it. Heather, however, denies it. She's like,
I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything about this. Like, where have you heard that from?
and I think it was Angie. She's like,
Even Stevie Wonder has seen this, Heather.
Heather says she's uncomfortable though. She just wants to be a supportive friend and defend Lisa. Meredith also sticks up for Lisa, and she says that borrowing money is a normal part of doing business. But of course, Bronwyn won't let that stand. She has to jump in and say,
Yeah, but you have to pay it back though.
which she's right. But like, I'm just like, where is all this energy for Lisa coming from? I thought they were good after last year's reunion. And if I remember correctly, the only thing Lisa did to Bronwyn last season was not be the friend that Bronwyn was hoping she would be. Like, Bronwyn essentially thought they were way closer than they were. Lisa saw her more as a social friend and treated her as such, but Bronwyn for some reason thought they were besties and they were going to be besties on the show. So she got her feelings hurt and she was disappointed, which I get, I totally understand, but I thought they made up at the reunion. But Bronwyn's coming in to just take Lisa down, I guess. Angie takes it a step further and she compares Lisa to Jen Shaw. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jen Shaw, who is currently behind bars for defrauding and scamming the elderly. Like, that's who she's comparing Lisa to. Even Whitney was shocked, and you know Whitney doesn't see it for Lisa at all. Heather's like,
what the F are you spewing from your mouth, Angie K?
oh, loved how Heather said that. Meredith, our resident lawyer, explains that the two situations are nothing alike. There are no criminal charges against Lisa or her husband. These are civil lawsuits that have not even gone to trial yet, and that have not been proven yet at all. Like, neither the federal government nor the state are coming after Lisa. Heather has the right attitude. She's like,
why are you even mentioning Jen Shaw? Like, don't summon her up. She's in prison where she belongs.
Bronwyn tries it again though. She brings up how Lisa compared her to Jen on Twitter, and we see an old tweet of Lisa's, and why Heather was okay with that. And Heather's like,
girl, I didn't see it. Like, I don't spend my time Googling your name.
And she also rightfully says that she's not just gonna sit there and listen to Bronwyn come after Lisa's business when she just got exposed for lying about the $4 million necklace. And she also wants to know if Bronwyn is bringing this up in retaliation. Because remember, Lisa kind of exposed that situation at the reunion last year. Bronwyn then admits that she was wrong. She calls it cutesy. She shouldn't have been cutesy about the necklace. She says she was trying to protect herself and the jeweler, and it came out sounding like a lie. Now, mind you, how was she protecting the jeweler? I don't think the jeweler cares whether or not she bought that necklace. I'm sure someone else with coin has or will, so you lost me there. She goes on to explain that she knew at the time that she wasn't going to buy that necklace, but she was planning to buy something similar and just hoping that the ladies wouldn't notice it, and that it was just totally immature of her, and basically she was just trying to be cool. And she finally admits that she was lying. Brittany then tells her,
girl, just say you lied and apologize.
I'm like, yes, Brittany, exactly. Bronwyn starts, being condescending. She's like,
let's talk about your lies, boo-boo.
Heather is still defending Lisa. She says that it's basically not nice to have your friends talking about you on a girls' trip that you're not on. Mary responds to that and she's like, yeah, that happened to me when I was on the trip. My friends, Lisa. And I thought that was unfair because Lisa wasn't talking by herself. Like, they were all talking about her. She's like, yeah, I went to bed and you guys, Lisa, were talking about me. And that's true. Angie also agrees that Lisa has a lot of information on them. I don't know, man. I just don't. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's been too long ago, but I've never seen Lisa as this housewife who, goes after everybody and brings up mess. I just feel like they all are insecure and desperate to be her best friend, and she's just not doing it, or not doing it in the way that they want it. So then they get their feelings hurt and lash out at her, and then she responds. But let me know what you think about that. I mean, yes, she's done a lot of mess, obviously. I'm not denying, like, Lisa is nobody's victim, but I'm just saying. Meredith finally ends this conversation by saying that they can just speak to Lisa directly and there's no need to do all this behind her back, to which I agree. Brittany then takes it upon herself to make an announcement, and don't we all love Brittany's announcements? She's like,
so guess what? Jared and I got engaged.
And everyone's like,
and then We got unengaged.
And everyone's still like, Mary's like,
Lord help me.
Heather's just like, this girl has no idea what announcements are. When I tell you I was living though, it was hilarious. Anyway, Brittany explains that they broke off the engagement because of their children. They weren't on board. And then someone asks her if he's dating other women. And she's like, I don't think so. I'm like, girl, you don't know? What do you mean? Like, shouldn't you know? And then she also goes on to say that she is still dating him. And then Whitney's like, I run into him at the gym like every day and he does not act, like he's in a relationship. And apparently he's not even on the machines. He's just sitting in the cafe taking girls out on dates, and he actually introduces Whitney to them. Apparently Brittany didn't know that though. After lunch, the ladies start doing some activities. A part of the group goes fly fishing. The other part of the group goes kayaking. Brittany, Angie, Meredith, and Mary are part of the group who go fly fishing. And when I tell you, those poor instructors, Meredith kept asking how long it was gonna take to catch a fish. And the guy's like,
you can't know. It's called fishing, not catching fish.
And she's like,
yeah, but how long? Like 5 minutes or 5 hours?
And he's like,
again, like, I don't know.
So she's badgering him. And then Mary goes on this tangent. She's like,
but wait, can we bring the fish back to life? And like, I don't want it to die. We need to resuscitate it. And we need to do like CPR.
She's on the confessional, like miming how you would do CPR on a fish. And it was hilarious. It was so funny. Also, she keeps calling the guy by the wrong name. Apparently his name is Dusty. That's what the subtitles said. And she keeps calling him Gusty. And he keeps being like, Dusty. But I do have to say, I listened really hard. I even closed my eyes. And to me, it also sounded like he was saying Gusty. So I don't think you can fault Mary here. Anyway, Heather, Bronwyn, and Whitney are doing some kayaking. That looks so fun. Whitney, though, she stuck Heather and Bronwyn in one kayak and she's gone on the single one. So yeah, they're forced to coexist, but they're actually having a pleasant time. And there are even some little white water currents there. And it just looked really, really fun. Heather shares a Mormon legend. It's about a woman named Molly Sorensen. Apparently she was this super hardcore Mormon who took it upon herself to kidnap and sacrifice young girls and women who were sinning. And one of the instructors does confirm that they have heard screams all night and that sometimes people do go missing in the canyon. So I'm like, okay then. It's nighttime. The ladies make a campfire. They're supposed to cook their own dinner. Mary's immediately booing this entire idea. So the ladies are cooking their own hot dogs on skewers. Mary, I think she probably doesn't eat pork. She brought some veggie burgers, but they are uncooked and there is no way for her to cook the burgers. So she's just sitting there having to eat a dry bagel. Meanwhile, Angie, she didn't bring condiments for the hot dogs. She didn't bring hot dog buns. Like, she brought a plastic bag of uncooked asparagus, and the ladies were like, girl, how are we even supposed to eat this? She's like, oh, let's just eat it raw. Angie, girl, this dinner, you can't even really call it that. It was a mess, just like so bad, like utter failure. When I tell you, I would have driven that RV to the nearest Shake Shack, Five Guys, like whatever restaurant or fast food restaurant they have there that was still open. I would not have sat there and eaten just like a plain hot dog with nothing. Like, no, sir. We can do s'mores on a campfire, but I'm not just gonna, no. Heather tells the ladies the legend of Molly Sorensen, and honestly, she still has not gotten over that good time girl comment from Lisa from season 1. She's like, I couldn't have been a good time girl because we were all afraid to go out of our dorms at night alone. Heather, please, let's move on. Season 6. Anyway, Mary, she was so dry. She's like,
I don't believe in Molly Sorensen. If she was real, she would have came here and fixed this sorry ass dinner. Like, she would have given us some food. She didn't come, so I don't believe in her.
I'm like, that's right, Mary. Angie brings up Lisa again by saying how it's so nice that Bronwyn and Heather were peaceful, and by questioning if that would have been the case if Lisa had been there. Heather is really upset by that. She's like, that's such a shitty thing to say. Like, are you saying I'm not being myself when Lisa's here? And Heather does say that her issues with Bronwyn aren't about Lisa. And I do remember that because in the beginning of last season, when Bronwyn joined, Lisa didn't have any issues with Bronwyn, but Heather immediately disliked Bronwyn. Like, those two, they're not on the same wavelength at all. Also, let's remember that Heather is no victim. She's not this, she pretends to be this little wallflower, but she's not. Her true colors came out a couple seasons ago when her and Whitney were fighting. So let's not overdo it. Whitney then brings up how Lisa called her a liar online after last year's reunion, to which Meredith responds by asking her, like, haven't you done anything online? Whitney's like, no, I haven't. Brittany then picks exactly that moment to confront Whitney about saying she sucks dick for money. Whitney apologizes for that, but says that she felt attacked by Whitney, and she gets very vulnerable actually. She shares that her business has failed. She had to fire 30 employees. Justin had went all in with her on that business, so now they have nothing. And she just feels like she disappointed not only herself and Justin, and her family, but also the customers, thousands of customers and her employees. So she's taking it really hard, as I think we all would. And she feels like she failed at something that she was so excited about and that actually had started as a success, and she just doesn't need her friends rubbing it in her face right now. That made me very sad for Whitney. You don't ever want to see someone fail, typically. I do recall, though, that they've been having financial issues. I don't think this was the first season. I think there was at least one other season where she basically said that she had ran through all their money trying to do something with her brand. So maybe this brand was not to be. Like, maybe let's not put any more money into it. But, you know, we all know that they get paid handsomely. She's on her 6th season of Salt Lake City, so they will be okay. Anyway, Whitney says that Brittany did not have any facts and that basically those were some TikTokers that were just trying to get rich off of her misery. She also brings up Lisa again and said that if Lisa were just more honest and forthcoming and vulnerable, she might actually encounter friendship and support amongst the group. But instead she puts on this fake facade. I don't know. Brittany, however, she says that's fair. She apologizes to Whitney. Heather then says that she's also had many failures before Beauty Lab and that no one really talks about the failures. Everyone always wants to brag about success. Angie then says that it's really courageous to even start a business and take that risk because it's hard. Brittany then walks in to console Whitney and she just hugs her from behind, and Whitney, like, she tenses up. She's like she looks disgusted. She's like,
no, I'm not there with you yet, Brittany. We have to get through this first.
And then Brittany turns around. She's like,
well, I want an apology for you telling me I sucked dick.
So that argument starts again, and everyone's like, no, Brittany, wrong road, wrong road. Brittany says she feels like a punching bag. You have Meredith mumbling, no one wants to hear it, Brittany. Then Brittany and Meredith start arguing because Meredith's like, you went after the only person that was kind to you, meaning, you know, presumably herself. And Brittany's like,
what do you mean? You turned on me instantly. We were so close. We were such good friends.
And Meredith's like,
we were not.
And she's like,
yes, we were. We spoke on the phone all the time.
And Meredith's like,
how many times? Like once?
And Brittany's like,
twice. And we went out to lunch for a couple hours, and I thought that was really nice.
So now we see why she probably feels like she was besties with Lisa. Maybe Lisa and her spoke on the phone like 4 times. Maybe they went out to lunch and dinner. Anyway, Meredith said she barely knew Brittany. Whitney's in the background laughing. Meredith makes it clear that she does not need a thing from Brittany, that she finds her utterly uninteresting, and that she also has zero respect for her. Heather then brings up the legend of Molly Sorensen again, and she asks the ladies if they want to go investigate. Mary's like, no. First of all, that's creepy. Second of all, in movies, horror movies, the black people always die first, and I'm just not here for it. Anyway, the ladies end up going. I don't know if Mary went or not, but they are stumbling around in the dark with their camcorders. They got lost. Some of the ladies are losing their shit, and it is so funny. Anyway, that's where the episode ends. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I really hope to see you on my next recaps of Salt Lake City. And I'm also recapping the Real Housewives of Orange County. And I also did Next Gen NYC, if you care about that. Anyway, I cannot wait to see you on our next vacation. Until then, have a blessed day. Bye.